What's up, Badass Faithful? This is the voice of the Unbreakable Spirit. I wanted to put a quick disclaimer about subject 1. It's a very heavy topic, and we don't mean to badmouth Vince McMahon or the WWE Board of Directors or John Laurinaitis or anyone involved in the situation, but we will say that the subject is very heavy and very messy, so I don't blame you and I'm not saying that you're going to, but I wouldn't blame you if you fast forwarded through that section into the second or third section, which, my opinion, is more interesting. We had to record these 2 episodes back to back, and the Vince McMahon is it was a fresh topic, so listener discretion is advised, and take everything we say with a grain of salt. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and take it away, Jesse.
At Odds is a podcast scheduled for 3 rounds of discussion with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from a Zoom call in Columbia, South Carolina, Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit, and his opponent from a Zoom call in Atlanta, Georgia, Daniel, aka the Executioner. Take it away, Matthew.
Thank you, Jesse, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 34. You're right, 35. Is it 35 or 34?
35.
I just want to make sure. No, it is episode 34 of At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit
and the Executioner, Daniel Travis.
One day I'm going to say it so fast you won't be able to interrupt me.
Never!
I swear.
Never! Anyway, we have 3 topics per usual.
Yes, we will be covering the...
Topic 1.
Topic 1. We will be covering the Vince McMahon scandal. God help us if we don't get canceled after this.
Number 2.
Number 2 is
How the hell is Money in the Bank going to work with the Undisputed Universal Championship?
Yes, and topic 3 is, should NXT 2.0 have its own MITV? But that's the last topic. We're going to start off with topic number 1.
Take it away, man.
Yep. Oh boy. This is a pretty worrisome topic.
Yeah.
I was serious when I said it would be, hopefully we don't get canceled, because this is just a whole mess. So the general consensus that I have for this, since I've heard it, is Vince had an affair with a female employee that who apparently was John Laurinaitis'
secretary.
secretary and she got promoted afterwards to a larger role in the company, like a director role, and they had to settle like 3.2 million in hush money.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
And since John Laurinaitis is like the VP of talent or something, I don't know how he's wrapped into this, but potentially he could lose his job because of this.
Yeah, potentially all of this could go to Tony Khan and Nick Khan, and and a lot of people would lose their job because Nick Khan likes to fire motherfuckers.
Yeah, but we're also hearing at the same time that the WWE board of directors were the ones who leaked the information.
I mean, like, I know the saying is, oh, you need to have faith in your board of directors. But I'm sorry, but how the hell can you have faith in your board if they leak this information without even telling you?
And some of the repercussions of this have even been said this, like potentially Netflix's Vince McMahon documentary is going to be canceled. And something's happening with the XFL. I don't know, but like I said, this is very messy. Just like my consistent forgetting to start the timer.
Yeah.
Whenever I start a topic off.
Yeah, I mean, my honest thoughts on this is like, hey, it's gonna be one of those things where, oh, he said, she said, blah blah blah. I'd be like, look, if you can provide evidence, that's great. But if there's no he said, she said, mumbo jumbo, it's not really gonna go anywhere.
Like this is sort of obvious, but apparently Vince McMahon cannot be fired from WWE since he runs the biz.
Yeah, and he also sort of founded the company, so it's like
no, his father did, Vincent J. McMahon.
Right. Right, he bought the company from his father.
Yeah. This is a mess.
I mean, well, the board of directors could try to remove Vince. I feel like Vince has such a grip on the company that WWE. I mean, because my honest thoughts on this, Vince McMahon has such a grip on how WWE is operated, and how big of a creative control he has. If Vince McMahon leaves the company, WWE could just fall apart without Vince.
It's funny you mentioned that. I just found an article on Ringside saying that there's belief in the business community that Vince McMahon's career should be over. Like, that is how messy this is. And thank God mainstream media hasn't picked up on the scandal yet.
But here's the thing, people. It is just a scandal. There's no, you can't just be like, oh, he said, she said, mumbo jumbo. I'm like, my honest thoughts on this is like, if you can provide evidence to this, please provide evidence. And otherwise, it's just going to go nowhere.
Yeah, but it is actually really getting bad. Like, Linda McMahon and Vince are apparently not living together anymore.
Yeah, but it's still just he said, she said. There's no concrete evidence.
Yeah.
Because I hate to. I mean, I know, never mind. I mean, because I heard someone say that, look, if this does go somewhere, that's bad for Vince. But if this just more of just he said, she said, he said, she said, he said, she said. If this is all it is, it's just gonna do that. Just be a scandal, and then in a couple of weeks, everyone will just forget about it. Because if there's no, like, if you don't provide anything, why should we even care? Like, if there's no, like, actual evidence to this.
Yeah. Evidence is everything when it comes to stuff like this.
If there's no evidence, then move the fuck on, go on with your lives. But if there's actual evidence, then that's a different
Show
story.
it.
If
Show us proof.
But like I've been saying, if it's just he said, it's just more of she said that, oh, I had an affair with Vince McMahon. I'd just be like, prove it.
Yeah, prove
Please.
it.
Please prove it.
We can't believe you if you don't show us some sort of proof.
If there's no proof, then just about it. I hate to be the guy to say this, but take the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation. I knew that's very different, but it's, that started out as a scare, that actually had evidence.
Yeah.
Like, that actually, had, like, there was actual evidence to all this shit. But if, like I'm saying, like, I'm being, like, 100% real with everyone here. If you don't got evidence, I don't really give a fuck.
And in that situation, both parties were guilty.
But I mean, both parties, in the Amber Heard situation, that there was actual evidence. But in this, there's like, meh, he said, she said, move on.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, for once, I like I said, this situation is very, very messy.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how this is gonna play out, but
Like it's,
let's just hope that this eventually just blows over.
I mean, because like I said, there's gotta be evidence. Period.
Yeah.
I got nothing else I needed to say.
Yeah, we still got a few minutes, but I just want to say that hopefully, eventually, oh, thank God I was wrong about the timer. Okay.
No.
I'm not going to finish what I was saying.
No, finish what you were saying.
No.
Yes.
Fine. Hopefully this just gets lost to the annals of history and we never have to cover this situation again. Anyways, we'll be back next segment with topic number 2.
Hello, and we are back with topic number 2, and that is how in the bluest of blue hell is the Money in the Bank going to work?
Yes, because in case those who don't know, next week on the podcast, spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, it will be a prediction battle.
Oh. Yay.
Yeah. And we're going to review what we're going to do for that, like, what's going to happen next week. But for now, we need to know, how will the briefcase work? Will it be for both titles? Will it be for one? Will it be for, like, what's going to happen?
I mean, like, yeah, because, wait, exactly.
Is there going to be one briefcase? Is there going to be two? Is there going to be a briefcase inside of a briefcase?
Do you have to and I know I said this already one time, but do you have to like have a briefcase? Like have two separate like you can have like two separate briefcases and then have said two briefcases compete in a TLC match for said ultimate briefcase?
Like, why would it be a TLC match? Why wouldn't it just be a regular ladder match like the Money in the Bank?
Oh yeah. Like yeah. Would you guys have like you win a Money in the Bank, you win a Money in the Bank, then you gotta compete in a ladder match for the Money in the Bank?
Yeah. For the undisputed Universal Championship Money in the Bank briefcase. This is why unification in wrestling is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, and don't worry, I started the timer this time around.
Goody.
It's just, like...
But also...
I feel like whenever something is unified, especially in WWE, they basically back themselves into a corner.
And why do you say that?
Because it's like, okay, we have this one championship and we have a brand split, but we have stars from one show appearing on the other.
Yeah, I mean, like, my honest thoughts on this is, hey,
and just to like refresh your guys' memory, months ago, I believe it was like our WrestleMania special.
Yeah.
We posed the question: how would this affect Survivor Series and Money in the Bank? And we are finally returning to one of those questions with this segment.
Yeah. How is it going to work for Money in the Bank? I really have no freaking idea.
Yeah, for once, WWE has stumped me.
Yeah. Because, like, I hate to be the guy to say this, but yes. But, look, I also believe that with the unification of the championship and with you guys having such a dominant champion who, like, how are you going to get the title off of Roman Reigns without making Roman Reigns look weak?
It's impossible. Unless, like, he had a grueling match prior to the cash-in. Or they pull a WrestleMania 31 and do the heist of the century. Again.
Yeah, I mean, because...
at this time, it would be the heist of the millennium.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, is that, like, but I can also see how the person uses the Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank. I think if we try to tell the I want to cash in and they just get double super kicked by the Usos.
Yeah, which would nullify the cash-in.
Or like right as the referee's like, I want to cash in. Are you sure? Yes, I want to cash in. All right, I'm cashing in the Money in the Bank. Turn around, double super kick.
Yeah, that would still nullify the cash-in when you think about it.
No, I was talking about, like, you know, like after the cash-in was ring official.
The bell still wouldn't have rung in the second scenario.
Oh yeah, and then the referee turn around and be like, "What happened?" Roman would be like, "He's still cashing it."
I don't think Roman has that type of authority.
But I mean, this is the Tribal Chief. Do you really think he gives a fuck?
No, since you told me this is what Joe Noe is like, cranked up to 11.
Yeah. But
like, I'm being serious when I say that I am
perplexed,
perplexed
dumbstruck.
on how this is gonna work. It'll be very interesting, especially with us being like 8 days away from Money in the Bank. WWE needs to figure out how to get this shit to work.
And also, explain me with that why you are nearly 8 days away and you only got one person in the god and you're having qualifying matches.
I mean,
Explain me
hey,
that.
it's better than just naming. Well, admittedly, they probably had some last week.
No, they like for the men, like the only person is Seth Rollins.
Yeah, the timer just went off. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll move on to our final topic. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
And we're back with the final topic, which is should NXT 2.0
Or
have
just
its own version of Money in the Bank?
and how the hell would it work?
I feel like it would work like a regular Money in the Bank, except for the NXT Championship / NXT Women's Championship.
Whoa, okay. Please, thoughts?
It certainly would be interesting, and I wouldn't be surprised with how similar NXT 2.0 is to a main roster show.
Yeah. Cause like I honestly think I mean like maybe WWE could do something like differently instead of having them like I don't know win a briefcase or something is like I don't know like do I don't know maybe like do something a bit different.
Yeah.
I mean what it is I don't really know but
Like
okay.
maybe they have half a year to cash in or something.
Yeah.
Because in case you guys don't remember or are new to NXT, they have a premium live event every like 3 months.
Yes.
Sometimes it coincides with the pay-per-view.
Sometimes
Most
it's a
of the time it doesn't.
No, most of the time it is a TV pay-per-view.
No, I wasn't talking about stuff like the NXT Great American Bash. I was talking more like In Your House or Stand and Deliver or War Games. I was
Right.
talking those.
Okay, yeah. I mean, here's my question. Who on the NXT roster, if you were to have someone on the NXT 2.0 roster win that briefcase, who?
Honestly, probably Grayson Waller. He's just the right level of dickishness for it to work.
Dickishness?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, we all know Grayson Waller is
A dick.
not the most liked person in the NXT locker room.
Yes. I mean, quite frankly, there's not really anybody on the NXT women's division I could see winning said briefcase.
Yeah.
Because
I agree with you because though I'm sure there is, I don't think they would win because when you think about it, Toxic Attraction is the most dominant female faction in WWE. Like, I don't want to make this comparison, but Toxic Attraction, despite not being related to each other in any way, shape, or form, they're similar. The best way I can describe them is a female bloodline.
I mean, yeah, they're not related, but because here's the thing, if Toxic Attraction, like if WWE actually decides to keep Toxic Attraction as a thing on the main roster, they could. I think Toxic Attraction is the team to elevate the women's tag team division of WWE.
I 100% agree with you there.
And plus, with how much that Mandy Rose has improved since coming to NXT, she honestly, if she gets a recall up, I could honestly see her as Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion now.
Yeah. And also, let's just be clear, if she does get called up, do not reunite Fire and Desire. If Mandy gets called up,
Keep
call
it
up
with
JC and Gigi as well.
call up Toxic Attraction, just have the but
But
back
because
on
when you
topic.
think about it, the main roster needs more women's tag teams.
Yeah, but I also am gonna say this here, like back on topic, is for the NXT, for the women's, for the Money in the Bank is Grayson Waller is definitely the right kind of heel. I mean, he's not really the most sneakiest heel, but he's definitely the right just kind of asshole enough for the Money in the Bank to work.
Yeah.
Like take Edge for example. Edge was just the Edge. It was Edge's idea for it to cash in after a match.
Yeah. And Edge was the first Money in the Bank holder.
Yeah. Like Edge basically went to Vince, and this is the story that I've heard, is he went to Vince, Vince told him that idea is like, that could actually work. And then like, even though his first world title reign was only 3 weeks, he made it work.
Yeah, and like, wasn't Edge the one that came up with the idea for Money in the Bank?
Nope, that is the Wizard. That is Chris Jericho.
Of course it is, because Chris Jericho can literally make anything work.
Yeah, like the Chris Jericho Appreciation Society, anything.
Or the Chris Jericho list, or the scarf.
Any gimmick.
Any gimmick that is a brainchild of the Ayatollah of rock and roll works.
Period.
Yeah, and I just want to be clear, people. I am not saying Grayson Waller is the NXT version of Edge. There is no one like Edge.
Hell, I am honestly surprised that I know I wouldn't compete in the Money in the Bank, but for his health and all that shit. But if like I know like they had Edge, but all right, look, you know what? My honest thoughts on the Money in the Bank for NXT is it would be a right idea, and whoever the person that does it needs to be the right kind of heel, because Braun Breaker is definitely the right kind of champion to use it on.
Yeah, and if you really, really want to get a heel over with an NXT Money in the Bank, have them cash in and successfully defeat Braun Breaker.
Hell,
if they introduce it, use it to continue the feud between Braun Breaker and Joe Gacy.
yes. I hope that's, yeah. those are our thoughts. Let us know.
Yeah, that's all the topics. So,
See ya.
roll that
Losers.
outro. Thank you for listening to At Odds, hosted by the Unbreakable Spirit,
And the Executioner.
edited by the Unbreakable Spirit. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MTS_life_0126.
You can follow me on Instagram at DanTravis21, and you can also follow me on the Twitter at DanTheExecutioner21.
And you can follow the podcast at Odds Podcast. We'll be back next week with more debates and discussions. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.
Thank you, losers.